Oops, wait. And then, okay. Yeah, we're on. Okay.
You got it?
Yep, it's ready.
Alright. Well, I guess you should do the intro. It's your channel, so.
I don't really know how to do an intro.
Just say what we're doing.
Okay, so we're gonna be talking about the Week 18 games, playoffs, maybe about that TCU Georgia matchup at the end. I don't know. Maybe if I feel
No,
like
that
it.
game was.
If I don't,
Yeah, well.
if I don't end up getting disappointed again. But yeah, we're gonna be talking
Alright,
about those.
well.
So we're gonna start with the Week 18 matchups.
It was a pretty fun week.
Yeah, pretty nice finale.
Saturday's games were pretty cool. Started the
Yeah.
Chiefs, I mean, they kind of just won as expected.
I mean, I
And they were
didn't
playing
expect
the
any
rate.
less. Now I'm surprised Patrick Mahomes played the entire game, though. I'm pretty sure he played the entire game.
Now, the Jags game was fun. For a while, they looked at the Titans, control Derrick Henry, then Jaguars. All of a sudden, get that fumble. It was a fun
Yeah,
game.
that fumble was kind of, I don't know.
Controversial, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't expect to win when you have Josh Dobbs at your quarterback.
yeah,
But
but I don't know if that really should have counted a fumble because he went up for the throw, and normally that would be an incomplete pass. But personally, I didn't care who won that game. But the Jags were not playing good. Like every other week, like the past 4 weeks, they've just been on a roll. That game just was not it for them.
yeah, Trevor Lawrence did not look good. I
Mm-mm.
mean, the defense pretty much you can say carried him that day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sunday was had some really good games too. I mean, Jets Dolphins was awful.
Oh yeah, that was such a low-scoring game. It was just nobody scored a touchdown that game. I mean, that's
And
props
of
for them
course,
both being like on top of each other. And then Tyreek Hill got hurt. Tua's not playing how he's been playing recently. It's Tua.
um, Patriots Bills was fun. The kickoff return
The two of them
was.
though.
I mean, you can't write a better script after Demar's injury.
And then also, cause I saw on TikTok like earlier about how Demar got up and like set off every alarm in the ICU after that, the first one.
Yeah. A
There's a lot of
surprising game for
scores.
me on Sunday was the Cowboys just getting flat out destroyed by the
Yeah,
Commander.
yeah,
I
that
mean,
that was the biggest shock.
Dak could not move the ball down the field besides
No,
one drive.
I mean we got to talk about that third string QB from the Commanders though. He was
Sam
absolutely just
Howell.
wrecking them. Yeah.
Who played Sunday night? That was
What do I want to say?
Packers Lions. That was
That was probably
surprising.
one of the best games I've seen in like
Detroit with
a
nothing to
finale.
play for shuts down the Packers.
Yep.
Jamal Williams
See what I'm
runs
surprised
all over.
is what everyone's expecting was them to not play their starters, go for the better draft pick, go home with an 8-9 record after having that terrible season last season with the worst record in the NFL. But no, they came out, they said, no, we're going to stop the Packers, put Seattle in the playoffs because we don't want to see Aaron Rodgers again. And they came
Yeah.
out to play.
I mean, speaking of tanking, the Texans accidentally won and handed the Bears the first pick.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. It would be also hilarious if the Bears took Bryce Young first round and just
I don't think. I
left the
mean,
Texans in the dust. I mean, because Justin
would you
Fields
replace
could be
Justin
traded.
Fields with Bryce Young?
Well, Justin Fields might want to trade soon because I don't think he's going to want to stay on the Chicago Bears team unless they make some implications in the next season or two where they become a top 10 team or they at least make playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Darnell Mooney's not it. And
No,
Rodgers.
David Montgomery maybe, and their O-line just doesn't exist.
Well, I guess let's get to these wildcard games.
Well, another
So,
game, there was one more game that shocked me. The Broncos-Chargers game, okay?
yes, we gotta talk about this.
So, that I was surprised because Brandon Staley, he made the decision to play the starters. I was fine with that. And then They were doing pretty good. It was like a back and forth game, like you would expect from two division rivals. They play each other all the time, so it would be like a closer game, no matter the records. But and then the fact that he kept him in for longer, even after Mike Williams went down with a back injury, which could be season ending. He could not come back for playoffs, and they could lose first round. The Broncos,
Yeah,
they played good.
I don't know, because like either way they lost, and losing that game doesn't really impact the Chargers. I don't
No,
know why you don't
we
just sit
had fifth
players.
seed. We didn't need to play starters.
But yeah, I mean,
Now,
us finally cooked for a little.
there's another surprising game to me. It was the Rams, the Seahawks.
Yes, that
That
game
was very
was closer than it
stupid.
probably should.
No, the Rams made the mistake of throwing interception in overtime in their own half. So it just pretty much set the Seahawks up for a field goal, which I don't like those rules because I feel like a field goal should never end it. Unless it's like the last
Yeah,
5 minutes. I feel like it should be first 5 minutes, touchdown, or if you score a field goal, they get a chance to get the ball back even if they started with it.
I mean, now we're in playoffs. We have new rules this year that a touchdown in overtime
Yeah.
doesn't end it at
I think
first.
that is that only playoffs or
Yeah, just playoffs.
yeah.
After that Bills Chiefs game, people got mad.
See, but they can't
I
really
mean,
get mad.
it's
That's
under.
how overtime works. I mean, they ended up losing anyways, so.
All right, so the first wild card game,
Is Seahawks
um,
49ers.
we'll go Seahawks Niners. For me, I think this is just an easy pick for the 49ers for me.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. But I could end up seeing a Geno Smith upset against the Brock Purdy because we've known Brock Purdy. He is the legend. He is Mr. Relevant. Okay, he's been doing really good. But Geno Smith has been playing really good for like one of his first ever times not being on the bench. Like I think he's played a couple seasons. This is like his first time where he's actually get to lead his team, where he hasn't been like that backup person, and he's actually led them to do pretty good. Like they went 9-8, which is not that bad for like I don't know how many times he's been a starter on a team, but he did really good. And
Yeah,
leading the Seahawks, who were running out of weapons and didn't have the best like defense or whatever, he did really good.
I mean, I just think 49ers with Kittle, Debo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey just have too much firepower.
I'm going with the 49ers, but I wouldn't care. I wouldn't like be surprised if there was an upset.
Yeah, I was teachers.
See, yeah, he started for the Jets and the Giants. He's also started for the Chargers. But the only time he's ever played a full season was his first year with the Jets in 2013.
Yeah.
And he only went for 3,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, 21 interceptions, 43 sacks. His rating was 66. This year, his rating has increased to 100 from 66. Wow. He still had a high sacks, 46, but he only threw for 11 interceptions, he threw for 30 touchdowns, and he threw for 4,208 yards in the same amount of games.
I have a game now that a lot of people are saying is going to be upset. We have the New York Giants at the Minnesota.
The next one is the Chargers Jags.
All right, we want to go back and forth between the conferences?
Well, I'm just going based on in the order I'm looking at.
All right, yeah, we'll go Chargers Jags.
This is a pretty
if you know
matchup.
Aiden here is a Charger fan. I'm a Bronco fan, but I'm not gonna put my bias here.
I'm not gonna put my bias either. I think this game could go either way. Even me being a Chargers fan, I would be surprised if we end up making past the divisional round, because if we win and no one else who's a lower seed than us wins, then we'll play the Chiefs, which I would not be surprised losing. We'll talk about that later. But it's like 50-50 for me. I could see it going either way. I wouldn't be upset with either one because the Jags aren't a bad team. I'm not going to diss on the Jags just because I'm a Chargers fan. It's just, I don't know. I'm going with the Chargers because I got to go with my team.
I mean, for me, Jags home field will keep it close, but for me, I just think Justin Herbert's better than Trevor Lawrence,
Because
in my opinion.
week 3, blowout, right? Like 29-13 or something like that. I think it was something along those lines. All I know is it was not the 38-10, okay? 38-10. It was way off of the score. 38-10,
Oh, I
blowout.
remember that game. Yeah, surprising blowout.
It wasn't as
That was a
surprising to me because there was a lot of injuries we had. We didn't have a lot of our O-line, a lot of our D-line. We didn't have Joey Bosa. I think a couple of...
Herbert wasn't 100%.
Herbert was still not 100%. He didn't get fully healthy until like week 6, which is when he started playing really good. He started playing like amazing in the past like 4 weeks when we went on that big win streak and then we lost. It would have been nice to go into the playoffs with like that momentum, like the 49ers have, where they have like the 11 wins, 10 wins, I don't know. Because that momentum is really good and it helps you get carried into there. Because it's really hard to stop a team once they have so much momentum. They're so hyped up for winning so many games. Especially when you're on like a losing streak.
I mean, ETN and Eckler, they're pretty good comparable.
They're both really good. Like Eckler, he's more of a receiving back. He can still run the ball. He's bigger. He's just not as fast. He can break tackles. ETN just has the speed. He's not as good of a receiving back, but he just has the breakaway speed where if he needs to, he can just get right through there. And with how bad the Chargers' rushing defense have been, ETN might be a great way for them to maybe get the win. But with Joey Bosa added back, it could go either way.
I'm just glad that it's not the Titans because they play some boring football.
Yeah. All they do is hand it off to Derrick Henry.
I mean, it's a good strategy, but if a team stops Derrick Henry, then...
Yeah. Okay. The next game we're going to talk about is the Dolphins-Bills.
I'm just going to say one word, Bills.
Yeah, honestly.
We don't know if Dolphins are healthy. And
Tyreek Hill, foot injury. Gotta go with the Bills. There's nothing else they can really do. Unless Raheem Mostert plays like he did like 2-3 weeks ago, and they can maybe pull off an upset, then I'd see the Dolphins. But any other way, I see the Bills. It's already written in the script. They're going to the Super Bowl. They're going to win it. I mean, no diss on Lamar, but like, it's just that's the added thing they need.
I'm going short, sweet Bills.
Yeah.
So I guess... Alright, who's
Giants,
now?
Vikings.
Okay. I don't know about how to feel about it. Vikings have been just like barely winning, and when they lose, they get blown out. I don't think they're gonna get blown out. I don't know if they're gonna beat the Giants.
If we want to go back to their earlier matchup, when did they play?
That was just a couple weeks ago. I feel like.
I think it was like week 12. I want to say it was like week 12, week 13.
I think it was like week.
Not week 12. Let's see.
It wasn't too long ago.
It was recently. All I know is it was a close game then, and it will probably be a close game here, saying it is playoffs.
It was
24-27. The Vikings won by 3. That was
week 15. I think.
Yeah, it was week 15. They won by 3 points. It was 24-27. I could see them losing this because of how they're just an off and on team. They have amazing games. Justin Jefferson goes crazy. They throw it to him every time, he doesn't catch it. But then there's games like against Green Bay where he had 1 catch for 15 yards the entire game, and then at the end they just put Green Bay put Jordan Love in, and the Vikings just put in their backups and everything. And they just gave up because they were down by that much. I mean, the comeback game against the Colts, that was amazing. They lost to Dallas by 37. It's either they win or they get blown out, or they barely lose.
I think that they might get by this round, but I do not see them going very deep in the playoffs.
See, now, they are lucky. They're probably going to be one of the higher seeds that actually makes it to second round, and Tampa Bay will probably have to play the Eagles second round, and they'll have to play like San Francisco, yeah, they'll have to probably play that, which I don't know because we haven't seen them play since like I want to say last year or the year before, when the matchups were completely different. Justin Jefferson wasn't popping off. Kirk Cousins wasn't doing as well. Brock Purdy wasn't playing. They didn't have Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
It's just, it's hard to say what's going to happen with the Vikings because the Vikings are an all-around team. They might have only lost 3 games, but those 3 games were weird.
Yeah, I want to say...
Who else did this to? I know they got blown out by 2 teams, and their other loss was like really close, I think.
They lost to... Oh, they lost to the Eagles, and they lost to the Lions. So they actually have 4 losses.
Oh, yeah. The Lions, good team, great team. Improved so much since last year in the terrible season. I can't say I'm surprised the Lions won. Yeah, I forgot about that game. Yeah, see, they have really weird spurts of winning and losing. So I'm going to have to go with the Vikings still. Because I just see them pulling off an upset.
I'm going with the Vikings, but if they win, don't be surprised if I don't pick them in next week's picks. So,
yeah, because their predicted score is only 26-23. Another close game.
Who's left? We got Ravens game, and they got the Cowboys game.
Yep. Okay. Ravens, Cincinnati. Got to go with the Bengals. We
don't know if Lamar's healthy.
I don't see Lamar playing this week. So I'm going to have to say the Bengals because I don't think they can do anything without Lamar or Tyler Huntley. Unless J.K. Dobbins is good again. Because he was out last week, if you can remember. He was out.
Yeah, I mean,
without J.K. Dobbins, they're not really much of anything because all they do is run. Their whole offense is just run plays. QB runs, J.K. Dobbins running. They even had Devin Duvernay doing runs too. Like
Bengals are very good. I mean,
yeah, the Bengals are really good.
Burrow at QB, Mixon can run the ball. Jamar Chase obviously, and then T. Higgins.
They're one of the very few teams who, after the Super Bowl, I mean, they might have lost, but after going to a Super Bowl, they have had a good record. Like, the Chiefs, I wouldn't expect them to do any less. But, like, the Bucks, like, they went to the Super Bowl, they blew out the Chiefs. The next year, they were not that good.
Look at the Rams. They just fallen into, like,
a pit. The Rams, I heard earlier, have had, after winning a Super Bowl, the most losses for a Super Bowl winning team the year before, because they went 5-12. That is the worst. That's the worst somebody's ever done after.
I'm shocked, actually. I didn't expect the Bengals to get to be this good after last year's Super Bowl.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna lose. Be terrible.
I thought it was just like a one year thing, like a magical run, and then like because the O line sucks. I mean,
but Joe Burrow's just that good. Joe Burrow can just get out of the pocket if he needs to. He can just do whatever he needs to do.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement about the Bengals, and I don't know about the Cowboys game.
So Tom Brady's 7-0 against the Cowboys. I'm gonna have to go with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers because if they can show up like they did that other week, where he threw for 430-some yards and like 5 touchdowns, and Mike Evans could have such a big game again, I could see the Buccaneers definitely winning that game, pulling up an upset.
I mean, Dak has thrown the most picks in the league this year, and that's even with him being hurt at the start of the year. Remember when they had Cooper Rush in?
Mm-hmm.
So I think. So I mean, something tells me that we're just gonna have a Tampa win here.
Yeah,
I mean, I
don't see it going in either way.
The meme is always that Dallas is in the first round, but I don't know if they can actually win this.
It's not even really a meme anymore. They just can't hold it together. Like what we saw last week against Commanders. If that's anything of what's to come, then they're just screwed.
Like, this is the game I'm least confident about. Like, I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to go either way.
I want to go with Tampa Bay, but then Dallas could also pull something out of their hat and just magically just do amazing after having, like, not such a good week in the finale of the season.
Yeah, like, now that Brady's older, you can tell he's less consistent. Like,
yeah, this is his first losing season.
If they show up
the playoffs.
I mean, in the playoffs, if you show up bad one game, you're done. You don't get to redeem yourself. So
yeah, it's just crazy. He's never had a losing season until now in his like forever of playing, and he's literally never missed the playoffs.
Well, there's our wild card picks. We pretty much agreed on every game, I think.
Okay, now we can. Do you want to try and do divisional? based on who he thinks gonna win their games?
I don't know, because then if we get too far down the rabbit hole, like, yeah. I mean, I think we can just, like, do it week by week.
Okay.
We can briefly talk about last night's massacre if you want.
So, TCU versus Georgia. I'm a TCU fan. I was very disappointed. I was like, oh yeah, we're absolutely going to destroy them. We're going to win by a mile. Did not happen. I went to bed. It was like 7-31, and then I woke up and it was like the biggest blowout ever, and I was very surprised. See,
I mean,
but TCU's problem was they let up too many unanswered touchdowns.
yeah,
Like, you just
TCU
can't
just
let
look.
that
I
happen.
mean, you hate to say that playoff experience is everything, but Georgia had the experience of winning last year. Just
Like, their rush yards total came down to, like, not that much because
I know. It looked like Georgia was playing a high school
Max
team.
Duggan had negative 38 yards rushing total that game. He was sacked 5 times, had 2 interceptions, and he only completed 14 passes. I mean, his QB
We
rating
do
was
have
103 though.
some NFL news here. The Ravens have signed back Roquan Smith to a
Yeah.
5-year, $100 million deal extension.
I mean, I didn't see them not signing him back.
But back to what we were talking about. Yeah, I mean Duggan. He's a good quarterback. I don't think he's gonna be in the NFL.
Yeah.
Maybe as like a backup, but
I guess.
same.
Yeah. I see maybe Georgia's quarterback, but I think he's going to stay in Georgia for a little bit longer. Do you want to talk about some
He's like
news in the NFL?
26. I think I have to go soon, but let me see if we have any.
Well, we can talk about some of the signings and stuff. Okay.
We do have Brandon Cooks saying that he does not want to be a part of a rebuild down there in Houston, so he's probably going to be looking to go to another team.
Now, Arizona is looking for general managers. They're doing interviews.
And a head coach.
They're interviewing Jerry Reese on Tuesday. Ravens.
My Denver Broncos are interviewing Sean Payton and Jim Harbaugh.
Yep.
For head coaching.
Roquan Smith, 5-year, $100 million contract, highest paid off-ball linebacker. Carolina Panthers are interviewing Mike Kafka, the Giants' offensive coordinator. He has received an interview request for the head coaching job. He probably won't accept it. Green Bay's linebacker Quay Walker is not going to be suspended after ejection for shoving Lions athletic trainer Sunday night.
That's the second time he's done it this season. If you remember back to the Buffalo game, he pushed a coach on their sideline.
And Seattle signed Chris Garrett to the practice squad, and Washington Commanders signed fullback / tight end Alex Arma to reserve / future contracts. I think that's it.
Alright, well, guess that'll be good for our first episode here.
Yep.
Let us know what you think. We'll definitely be back next week as the playoffs get going.
We'll be back probably as soon as the playoffs are done, like the next day. I don't know when they're over.
The wild card. We'll be back. Monday night is the last wild card game. It's probably like Tuesday or something.
Yep.
And then we'll look ahead to the divisional. Then blah blah blah.
We will put all of our stats in. We'll keep you guys updated with all the latest news.
See ya.
Bye.